Okay,
And
and we're
we
on.
are live. We are live. Yes, we are live. And look, we got a new face here today. What's going on? We got. It's not just boring old Dusty. We got a new person here today. Who is this new person? Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hey, great to see you. I don't know. I was just passing by through internet and I saw this link, clicked on it, and
Zoomed in.
it seems like it's going to be fun.
Well, I can guarantee you one thing: it's always going to be fun on the Flicksters. So,
Yeah.
welcome to the show. Just a an introduction for everyone listening. We are the Flicksters podcast. Every week we talk about movies, TV shows, all kinds of things like that. We have fun on the way. We talk about it. We want you to get involved with it. Follow us on all our socials: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Get involved, and yeah, that's who we are basically. So yeah, so who are you? Introduce yourself, please.
Hey, I'm Andrei Lenart. I'm an actor originally from Slovenia, working all around the world, wherever it takes me. Um, a fan of filmmaking since young age. Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And just for go ahead,
No,
Awar.
no, no. All I was going to say was, look, there's a specific reason, Andre, why you're on this particular episode. Because folks listening, on this episode, we're going to be speaking about the Odyssey. We're going to be speaking about Christopher Nolan's new film, which is just newly released in the cinema. So go check it out. But specifically, Andre is going to be speaking about his experience working on the movie, in the movie. He's in it. He's like he's mentioned, he's a film actor, and we're going to get into the whole kind of him, how we got involved in the Odyssey. So it's so great. I think sometimes Deval and I, we just talk about movies, we talk about TV shows, but to have someone who's in the movies that we're speaking about, it just kind of gives it an extra layer and it gives it kind of this extra touch. So thank you so much for being on the show, Andre.
Thank you
Deval,
for
sorry,
having
what
me.
were you going to say?
Now I was just going to say, it's like we were just talking before we started that the world it's a small world, and Andre and I bumped into each other 15 years ago.
Must be 15 years. Yeah,
15
definitely
years.
more than 10.
Definitely. We were making a short film called The Goat Man. And this film it's actually on real mythology. So we're talking about Greek mythology later, but mythology around the world about half man, half, animals. It's true. And we worked on this film. That's how we met. Great relationship, great person. And yeah, I mean,
If I remember correctly, I was the cinematographer, but then acting in it at the same time because it was found footage style.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
it
that's
was
on
fun.
YouTube. I'll send the link for people to see. So
No,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna.
yeah, you
I'm
can.
not gonna claim. I'm not gonna claim any of Andre's. I'm not gonna say this is where he started. But we got a little.
That's where it all began.
1%. That's where it all began.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
So just speaking about that, so how did you actually how did the Goat Man thing happen? Was it just that you were looking for someone and then Andre was around, and how did that all
Yes.
happen?
Yeah, so we were shooting a short film, Who is the Goat Man? And we were looking for people to be involved. Found Andre, I think it was on some sort of website where people look for jobs and stuff like that.
I think
Met
so, yeah.
him. Yeah, met him straight away. I was like, yeah, this guy he was enthusiastic. He was just like really on it. He was like, any technical issues that we had or any issues around the filming and stuff like that, he would have solutions like that, And I mean, he's just, I think I called him Thor, just a nickname, Thor. And I still do to this day. And it's just weird because at the time, I think Thor came out and there's this guy who looked like Thor. I'm like, wow, this guy looks like Thor. Like he's made for movies.
Just give me a second. I'm gonna grab something.
Of course. Oh my God. Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the powers of Thor. And he's worthy.
But didn't you all have nicknames on the filming team?
Yeah.
Avengers nicknames.
Yes, we all had little Avengers nicknames. Yeah, I think it was just something to sort of create a sort of atmosphere of fun and just friendship and stuff like that. So yeah,
It's
it was cool.
funny because at that time you didn't know that Thor is my favorite Marvel character, and then after that I even worked as a hand double for Chris Hemsworth
Oh
for
wow.
Wow.
Thor
Wow.
on the Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yes.
So in a
Yes.
way, I
Yes.
played. In a way, I played an Avenger partially.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, you can claim it, mate.
Wow.
You can
That's
claim it.
crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Damn. So
And that
yeah.
whole, because I was going to say the whole scene, you know, when they're all together and they're all trying to lift up Thor's hammer.
Mm,
That was one of my favorite scenes
yeah.
in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Such a good film. And they filmed part of that in London as well. I think they filmed a few scenes in London at the time. I think Greenwich No, I'm getting mixed up with Thor. I'm getting mixed up with Thor the film and Avengers Ultron. 'Cause I know one of the Thors they filmed in Greenwich University. I
That's the
think it
second
was.
tour. That's the second tour.
Yeah. Yes.
I studied at Greenwich University.
Ah. Yes.
I
Yes.
studied
Yes.
film and
Yes.
TV production while they were filming second tour, and that was,
Wow.
I think, my first like assisting job on a major film as well.
Okay.
I had like since young age I wanted to be a part of something like that. I watched behind the scenes, making of. I just wanted to, like, I don't know, hold cables, pick up trash, whatever.
Yeah.
And when I saw that that's happening, like right at our doorstep, I printed out my CVs. I was walking around set, handing out my CVs to anyone that I could. And then I got to work on it as a location marshal, runner. But
It's
yeah, it was a
incredible.
crazy experience.
See, if anyone listening, any of you sort of young filmmakers out there, these are the nuggets that you need to listen to. And there's no pride, there's no ego. You go in, you do what you can do, get in the door, and then sort of work your way from there. I hear a lot of people say that. Is that true, Andre?
I would say so. At least my path was like that, and
Mm,
I do believe that, like, you need to let people know what is your dream, what you want to do. That's the only way that they can help you. But then also at the same time, you have to put in the work so you can bring something to the table.
perfect, perfect. And talking about work, I wanted to actually talk about some of the work that you've done and Secret Level on, and that's actually on Amazon at the moment now. So anyone that's got Amazon, go watch Secret Level. Secret Level is a really interesting concept. It's an anthology series, I think executive produced by Tim Miller, who many people know from Deadpool.
Yep.
And yeah, tell us, I mean, Secret Level, what was your involvement in that?
So yeah, as you said, it's an anthology series of animated short films. Each one is a standalone. The only thing that they all have in common is that every short film is based on a video game world. I worked on the third episode and played the lead character, King Elstrom, in performance capture. Same technology that they would use on films like Avatar.
Yeah.
But then, so I did the motion and the facial expressions for it. The voice of the character was done by Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Wow. How
which
did it
for me
feel?
was
Like, yeah.
unreal, because like ever since my first interview, or whenever, even before that, whenever people ask me who is the one actor that you would love to work with, I
Mm,
always said, like, there was no doubt, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And
mm.
even though we haven't met in person, the fact that we played the same character, we both contributed to the same character,
Yeah.
it
There's this
felt
connection.
it feels like we did.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge for sure was he recorded the voice first, and then
Right.
everything that we did afterwards had to be in sync with what he recorded. When doing facial expression as well, that means like perfect lip sync as well. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
would listen to him over and over and choreograph my performance to that. Then even on the actual recording, I would have earphones in my ear so I could listen to
Oh wow.
his audio track
Why?
and act on top of that. Actually, the director called my earphones, which I now have as a souvenir, Earnold.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
wow. Okay.
So
That's so revealing.
Earnold was in my ear all the time.
Classic.
But yeah,
Wow.
incredible experience. I worked with this French animation studio, Unit Image. They
Yes.
also worked on a couple of episodes in Love, Death, and Robots, which
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
is produced by
Brilliant
the
image.
same production team, Tim Miller
Yes.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have this. Their animation style is this super realistic. When you see some shots in the animation, they're just like you're not sure if that was shot for real
Yeah,
Oh wow.
or
Yeah.
I
animated.
got that. I got that as well. The
So
person that
that
you were working with, the person with the one arm, uh, there's a few shots when they were showing him up close, and I was like, oh, like, he looks so real. But obviously, the backdrop is animation, and even when I first saw it, because I didn't know you was in it until I saw it.
Oh,
So
really?
I sat there and I watched it. I was like, I know that guy. Oh my gosh! I was
Yes,
like,
because they
it's crazy.
even made the character look like me. They scanned me. They scanned me to the
Yes.
yes.
teeth. To the teeth. They took a mold of my teeth to actually use that
Wow.
on the actual model.
Mm.
The body, I think, was some French bodybuilder. So they
Oh,
kind of
okay.
Okay.
combined
Okay.
it all together. But yeah, their whole idea is to transfer the performance that the actor does
Mm.
as close as possible onto the animation
Yeah.
Okay.
to keep it as real as possible.
Wow, that was amazing. And
Perfect.
just I just want to rewind a little bit actually. So Andre, what were you growing up in Slovenia? Um, what were your influences? I know you've kind of like done a lot of stunt work. Did you were you watching a lot of action movies? Was that your kind of way of getting into the industry, or did you start off kind of in a different way? I think kind of our listeners will be kind of really interested to kind of hear that out.
I mean, since a young age, I enjoyed watching movies. But I also remember that when we used to rent out DVDs, I would always watch making of, behind the scenes, and so many times I would say it was even more interesting to me than the actual movie.
Mm,
How they did it, like how they did all the illusions and all that. And I think that's where my desire to be a part of it started. I I was just like I would love to work in any department just to be part of it. um, I watched a lot of, yeah, I would say action movies, comedies, animation. It's a broad spectrum.
Mm.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, had that desire to once in my lifetime be a part of it. I remember I was in in Tunisia. There's still a set from one of the Star Wars films,
right.
and I just remember standing there as a tourist, just thinking to myself, "Oh, once in my lifetime, I would love to be a part of it." Film like this, just to be there, like I said, holding cables,
Yeah.
picking up trash. And later on I did that as a locations department assistant.
Wow.
Crazy. It's almost
Crazy.
like
And
you just
then
visualized it into existence.
yeah, and we should let our audience members know that you voiced Anakin Skywalker. So this is kind of one of the things as well. So you know, bringing it kind of back to full circle type of thing. So you've done a lot of voice acting work. You've done some motion capture. What do you find? The most challenging, the most interesting? Is it the motion capture stuff? Is it the voice acting, or is it the live action stuff that you've done over the course of your career?
I mean, all of it is super exciting to me, and I love that I get to do a mix of it.
Yeah,
In terms of challenges, it can be very different. The voice acting part of my work is mainly in Slovenian. In Slovenia, anything that's
yeah.
done for kids to a certain age when they can't read subtitles is dubbed. So, like one of my latest jobs was on the latest Toy Story 5.
Oh wow, yeah,
Wow.
I'm the Slovenian voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars. That was one of my favorite roles to play
yeah,
for sure.
It's a
Just because I'm,
top show. Top show.
yeah. Good show.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I've been a
Top
Star
show.
Wars fan since when I was a kid.
Mm.
Um, it was just, yeah, really, really beautiful. And then, like, I would say recently in the last couple of years, I started working on video games as well, either in motion capture or voice acting. The latest one was Battlefield 6,
Yep.
where I
Yeah,
got to voice a playable character. Which, I mean,
Wow.
even when you just look at the video games at itself, like you have kind of this two different performance types within it: the cutaway scenes and the actual playable scenes. And
Yeah.
when you're voicing the playable character, like in Battlefield 6, where I voiced the default engineer Carlo Kolar, who is a Slovenian as well.
Is it?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
helps.
There was just like there are certain situations that are going to happen a lot when you're playing a game. So you can't only
Yeah,
have one voice line for that. I don't know,
yeah, yeah,
throwing a grenade. You need a lot of them, otherwise it's just going to be repetitive.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, you're in the studio just doing a lot of variations of, I don't know, getting shot or throwing a grenade, or it's
Okay. I mean, Battlefield is a massive, massive game. Battlefield, Call of Duty, all those
Yep.
games are like really, really big. And I've got a guilty pleasure because I enjoy games. I enjoy video games, but I'm a really social gamer. I struggle to play by myself. So my guilty pleasure is I go on YouTube and sometimes I watch the cutaway scenes as a movie. so I just sit and watch it and just because it's a movie pretty much. It's like an
They
hour and a
are.
half, 2 hours, and I enjoy it. So I really get a lot from that actually. So I like it a lot. But Battlefield is a massive, massive game, and I know that's something we obviously put on to sort of talk about as well. But I think people we've spoken about it a few times, but the video game industry, many people don't know that it's actually worth more than the movie industry and the music industry combined. Video games is massive, and if you've got a good
Huge.
IP, good video game IP that can translate to movies, then that's even better. Do you know what I mean? You bring that whole audience across. So in the future, there might be. I hear there's talks. I know maybe you can't say, you might know, but there's talks of Battlefield movies coming
Movies
out, and
coming up.
I
so
saw rumors on the internet. So yeah, fingers
yeah,
crossed. Carlo Collar makes an appearance.
Makes a live
exactly,
action version. Yeah. Okay,
exactly.
cool.
Did you play? Do
Yeah.
you play like
Yeah, yeah,
games
Yeah,
like
I
that?
Call of
Battlefield, Call
Duty.
of Duty.
I've
yeah.
got
Yeah,
I've got
I've
Call of
got it. I've
Duty. I
got them.
play it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard the
I
cutaway
tried.
scenes are great.
It was just too fast. It was too fast for me. I would need some time to practice,
Yeah.
get in it. But yeah,
Yeah, it's hard. But on something else I wanted to talk about as well, and we've spoken about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's obviously a massive Hollywood star from from forever and still is today. And
Mm.
there's another massive Hollywood star that you've worked with recently as well, in Jean Claude Van Damme, in Kill 'Em All 2. Kill 'Em All 2. I mean, even the
yeah.
title.
Even the title is just
Apparently, he didn't do a good job in the first one. Like,
So
he's got to
they
kill
had to
him
do a
again.
second one.
he
Yeah, you
has
got
to kill him. He has to
one.
kill them all again.
You left one behind. It happens.
Yeah, I want to hear about this because obviously, for me growing up in the 80s, Jean-Claude Van Damme was this big kind of movie action star. We got the Kickboxer, Bloodsport, and you know he's just been part. Like there was a moment in the 90s where it was Jean-Claude Van Damme, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, these big action stars, and you just can't, the muscles from Brussels, it was, he was a big
Mhm.
thing. So so I'm really keen to find out, how did you get involved with Kill 'Em All 2, and what was the experience like? Because obviously working on a big budget movie, like high energy, big sets, like the Odyssey, to something with a bit more higher energy, and someone like Jean-Claude Van Damme, how does that all, how do you manage those challenges, and what was the experience like on Kill 'Em All 2?
Yeah, so I got involved through an audition, which was a self tape, as most of the auditions nowadays are. You record it at home, and then send it to the casting director and the production. At that time, I didn't know that it's an audition for the lead villain part in the movie. I knew that it's a Jean Claude Van Damme movie, so I was super excited. I remember saying to my agent, "Look, even if I get like a one-liner part and he kicks me in the face,
That is
or
big.
or a
Yeah,
non-speaking part and he kicks me in the face. The kick was
yeah,
the important bit. It would be like legendary. Because yes, I watched his movies when I was younger. Kickboxer, Bloodsport. He
Noxu Carl, Noxu Carl, White Warrior.
I want to fight Tong Po. And the scene when he's kicking the palm tree down there.
Yes, yeah.
So like to work with him, to face him as the lead villain was incredible. It was surreal. And there were so many moments when he would, I don't know, wink or do a that, and it would just take me back to one of his movies. I'm like, oh,
Mm,
Yeah.
it is him. But he's a great guy. I loved how relaxed he was, and at the same time, even after all these years, so much attention to detail. Always
okay.
thinking, how can we improve the scene? What else can we do to make it better? Um, when after all these years, you could easily just take it as a just another job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah.
So I had a great experience, working with him. Uh, and as you said, he is one of the like Hollywood action legends.
Yeah.
His
He's
splits are iconic.
yeah,
Iconic,
and he's
absolutely.
I saw that the fights that you had and just all the dialogue, and even obviously I've met you before. I know some of what your personality is like. You're off camera, you're just a cool guy, chilled out, just just chilled. And then to see you as a villain, I thought this is not like I'm like this. Who's this guy? Because it's the opposite to what you're like. It's like you're just a proper like just you're a wrongin. He's a wrongin. He's just a nasty guy, but in the right way. The right villains you hate,
Hate.
and that's what you want. You want to hate the villain, and I hated him in the film in a good way. So
Thank
well
you,
done for that. Well done for
thank
that.
you.
Also in the film, Maria Alonso, who we've seen in The Running Man, we saw in Predator 2. Like, I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know. Sometimes you just see these actors and you think like just iconic roles they've played, and you see
Mm.
them and you're working with them again. Like you said, I can just imagine goosebumps every day going to work. So
Yeah, especially like thinking back, you heard from like where I come from, being in Slovenia, watching that world on
mm,
like DVDs, behind the scenes making of. It all felt so distant.
okay,
Yeah.
Like, and then just gradually stepping stones, being part of it. Like, yeah, it's I don't know. I just feel very grateful for it, and I think the little Leonard who watched those DVDs is super excited about
That's
what we're
great.
up
And
to.
that's a great message for anyone else who's listening out there. Like, when you have that dream, hold on to
mm,
it, keep pushing yourself and keep working at it, and good things will come about. So I mean, I want to obviously let our listeners know as well, like, you've worked from everything from the Kingsman, you've done, high level motion capture, but the atmosphere on a movie like Kill 'Em All 2 to kind of like, the atmosphere in a movie like the Odyssey, they're going to be different, right? There's going to be different energy levels. There's going to be, lots of moving parts going on there. But how do you kind of, attack some of those, the way that you work in those movies? Are you doing the same things, like how you deal with a $50 million movie budget compared to $250 million budget? Are you still kind of working the same? Do you have to do anything different? Is your preparation different for any of those types of kind of budgets?
Every project is different, like to the ones that I did before in some way.
Yeah.
So it's like comparing Kill 'Em All 2 and the Odyssey from my perspective, the differences would be my role in Kill 'Em All 2 was big. It was one of the top three roles in the movie.
Hmm.
So my preparation was focused on the acting part of it. I had almost zero time to do that. Like I got the script when I was at the costume fitting, and I'm not sure. I think we might have been shooting the next day, or it wasn't more than a week for sure. I would have to check, but it was crazy. It was, yeah,
Yeah.
right into
Wow.
the deep end. While on the Odyssey, I worked as an action performer, um, mainly in charge of rowing all those different real boats and real ships that were part of the film. Odysseus'
Wow.
ship, Telemachus' ship, Agamemnon's fleet. Um, so in terms of preparation, the preparation was physical. Again, I
yeah,
didn't have much time, but I knew that mainly I'm going to be rowing, so I just worked on my overall physical strength and stamina, and rowing especially. Read the Odyssey, but then while I was there, my responsibilities weren't as big as most of
Gotcha.
the other
Yeah.
people, the crew, the actors. So in a way, I could enjoy it that much more because I just had to be focused, follow what's my next step, what's the next order that I got, either from stunt coordinators, assistant directors, the marine department, the captain of the ship, and just immerse myself in the scenes, which really wasn't difficult because I mean, Christopher Nolan likes to do it for real, and we were
Yeah.
Yeah.
really
Very
there on
practical.
those ships on the sea. So you're serving an actual purpose on the ship. Um, while with Kill 'Em All, I would say throughout the whole filming, I didn't. I'm not gonna say I couldn't enjoy it that much, but I was just focused on the work and the scenes and all the preparation that I had to do for next day. That I only like realized and fully enjoyed it after it was finished.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. It does make sense.
Mm.
Because when you're really immersed in something, you don't have time to observe it almost because you're so in it. It's like you don't have that out of body experience yet. Once it's finished, I can imagine that you can then look at what you've done and it sinks in later, probably.
Exactly, and
You
it's like
know?
people often ask me, "Oh, what was the feeling once you get the news that you got the role?"
Mm.
Amazing, super excited. But then, at least with me, it's like that. That very quickly, I'm going to realize, okay, now we have to do the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now we
yeah.
have to do it. So just switch into that work mode, focus on it, and yeah,
Yeah.
and then it sinks in afterwards.
Yeah. So what? So for Kill 'Em All 2, did you have? Was there any time for you to train, like in like fighting styles or martial arts training or anything like that, or was it just you got the job and then you were straight into it? There was hardly any prep.
I got the job, and in the next couple of days, I was flying to
Yeah.
Italy, to Bari. So yeah, there was hardly any prep. I
Yeah.
got this. I got the
Wow.
script while I was costume fitting, and I would say it's often like that. Very rarely you have the luxury of prep time.
Mm.
At least in my case,
Yep.
a lot of the roles that I do are cast very last minute. So once I realized that, knew that, I just started working on skills in advance just to have them ready.
Yeah.
Either I don't know, like horse riding, screen combat. I train with stunt teams mainly in Croatia and Slovenia because
Nice.
very early on in my career, I realized that a lot of the roles that I auditioned for are physical or action roles or military in some way. So that's why I went to the military training in Slovenian army.
Brilliant.
Well, he
Just
stays
yeah,
ready, honestly. My
This
man
is
stays
ready.
ready.
I'm pretty sure he's got a Glock like by his side right now.
Don't show us, please. Don't show us.
okay. No, I won't. I won't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to go to blend in some actual, some other, I should say, movie news and stuff, just to sort of see your opinion on some of the news that comes out, which is what we do every week on the show. We talk about movie news and stuff like that. And a bit of movie news that we got this week was that Adam Driver is reportedly going to play Magneto in the MCU. So,
Is
I
that a
mean,
rumor?
it's a
Or
rumor. But
okay.
a lot of the rumors that we report tend to come
To
true.
come at true.
Yeah. So, but what do you think, Adam Driver, Magneto? What do you reckon? Could that work?
I mean, totally. I think he would nail it. He's a great actor. I think he could bring a lot of layers to that character. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, he's deep. Like we've seen him, like as Kylo Ren in the Star Wars franchise. So he
Yeah.
brings that kind of intensity, and I think someone like Magneto. I mean, if you're comparing it with who was Michael Fassbender, like another great actor
Yeah.
who's obviously played Magneto. I'm just trying to think. He has an intensity as well. So a younger Magneto, possibly. We're seeing Adam
Yeah.
Driver do this. Yeah, he's got the skills to do it for sure. Do we need
don't know if-
Magneto? Do we want to see Magneto again though?
Oh yeah, he needs to be seen because Magneto
Of
is
course.
like he's massive. Him and Charles Xavier. I mean,
Yeah.
in the animated series right now, X-Men '97, I could actually see Adam Driver looking a lot like the animated character. So
okay.
and
Long
that's
hair.
the most, yeah. And that's the most recent image we have of him. And I think he can do a great job. He's even got the look. I think, like you mentioned about Kylo Ren, because characters like Kylo Ren, they're a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? When they're good and bad at the same time.
Like
They're they just
they're
have that
like an anti-hero type of.
yeah kind of thing. Yeah, so Magneto does have that. Remember, he wants good for his people. He wants mutants to be treated humanely and fairly, but he's willing to go and do bad things to get it.
Mm.
So sometimes you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, as they say. So, but yeah, so I think it'd be good to see that happen, hopefully.
Yeah. Um, Andre, are you a fan of the Lord of the Rings movies?
I am, yes.
Do you have a
Huge.
favorite?
Uh, oh no, that's a difficult one. I don't know. It's just kind of because I don't see them as individual pieces as much as a
Yeah.
whole trilogy. And I did, like, I was lucky enough to read the books before seeing the movies.
Oh,
Yeah, huge fan. Why? Why
Yeah.
do you ask?
I asked this because, well, Andy Serkis is going to be back putting on the mocap, and we all know how visionary he's been with, not just with Lord of the Rings, but as Gollum, but with Planet of the Apes as well. But so they've begun filming Lord of the Rings, a Lord of the Rings prequel. So some people are happy about this, and some people aren't, because for a lot of people, the Lord of the Rings trilogy were obviously fantastic movies, amazing, um, you know, um, and some people say they shouldn't be touched again. Why do we need to go back? Is this just for the money? Are they going to bring anything new? But with Andy Serkis on board, I'm hoping this is going to be a good thing.
I mean, I do believe that it's in good hands. So it's a prequel to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It happens
yes.
between. So it kind of happens between. Does it happen before or after Hobbit?
So this is going to be it's going to be kind of like this. Is it the Search for Gollum? Is this
Yeah,
one?
the search for Gollum. So I think it's going to be in between Hobbit and Fellowship of the Ring, I
Yeah,
believe. I'm not too sure yet, but that's what I think it should be. And I guess, yeah, you're right, with him as director, and he's also going to be putting the balls on as well. He's putting the balls on and he's getting involved.
yeah.
So, who knows it more than him? So I think it should be good. I mean, it's going to be in New Zealand too. So yeah, go ahead.
Amazing. No, I was just going to say that as much as I am like attached to these movies that were a massive part of my childhood or growing up,
Mm,
if a new film comes out, or I don't know, like the new Harry Potter series comes out,
Yeah.
if it's good or bad, it's not going to affect how I feel about the original trilogy or with Star Wars. It's not
okay.
all the new stuff that's coming out. It's not going to ruin the originals for me. I
Yeah.
have high hopes for it. I hope it's going to be good because
Mm,
I would love to relive the excitement that I had for those.
Yeah.
Um,
mm.
but then it's yeah, we'll see. Is the same cast returning? Are there same characters in
I,
it? If the Gollum?
yeah.
Some
So
of them,
some
yeah,
of them are.
some of them. I think Orlando Bloom, I heard, and I heard who else?
So
Ian McKellen, I
Gandalf.
think.
Ian
Oh
Yeah, I
McKellen's
think
coming
Ian
wow!
back as
McKellen.
Gandalf.
Yeah, but I think they're going to recast other people. So you're going to have uh, Dornan. What's his name? Something Dornan. The one that was in Fifty
Jamie.
Shades. Jamie
Yeah, Jamie
Dornan.
Dornan.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's going to be in it. I think he might be sort of the new Aragon.
Okay,
That kind of character. So
that's
yeah,
some big shoes to step in.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So
that role was just made for Vigo.
I
Like I
know, I
have to
know, I
say,
know, I
it was
know,
just
I
like
know.
Strider, that character Strider, and it was absolutely amazing. I love those movies.
Yeah.
Um, so another thing, another thing that we do on this show is we love speaking about trailers,
Mm,
and trailers are an art form, unto themselves. A really well put together trailer can really kind of set a movie up. Do you have you, do you can you go think back think about any trailers that you've seen which you thought, you know what, that was an amazing trailer? Do you ever look at trailers and think, wow, that's a real well put trailer?
I do. But then, kind of in the last couple of years, I'm going into the opposite way, and I try to watch stuff without knowing too much about it.
Too much about it.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So if I know that I'm gonna watch something anyway, I might
yeah.
skip the trailers.
Yeah.
I'm
Interesting. Yeah. Good
already
point.
excited. I'm already excited. Like, um,
You don't need to say any more. Yeah. You don't need to give us
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
So one
yeah.
of, yeah.
I
So what
you
about,
asked me
yeah,
you
go
asked
on.
me about the trailer. You asked me about the trailer that, like, the first one that springs to mind. And I'm not gonna say it's a great trailer, but it was just so over the top and crazy. The first Expendables,
Oh
when
yeah.
Oh my
it was
gosh,
pretty
yeah.
much
Yes.
just the
Yeah,
names of
yeah,
these
yeah,
massive
yeah.
Yep.
stars. Just
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That was
Nothing else needs
great.
to be said.
You don't need to say anything else. When you've
Don't
got
show
that
anything.
cast
You know what
together.
you're gonna get. You know what you're gonna
Exactly.
get.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah. So a good trailer shouldn't kind of reveal too much, but it should kind of entice people. So one of the trailers that we're going to just kind of speak about. I'm not sure if you've seen this, Andre, but there's a
I seen it.
new.
Yeah.
You've seen it. So this is Tom Cruise's new upcoming movie, and I mean, from what we've seen with the Mission Impossible movies, this is going like to completely, totally different direction. So this is called Digger, Tom Cruise's new movie, directed by Guns. Oh God, I always kind of never can say his name. Is it
Alejandro Iñárritu.
Alejandro Iñárritu?
Yeah.
And got a great cast in here. And so when I saw the trailer, so I watched the trailer before I watched the Odyssey. So this trailer popped up, and I was kind of like fixated on what's Tom Cruise doing in this, and I just couldn't make heads or tails of it. It's kind of like the end of the world. There's a whole scenario thing going on. He plays a billionaire, maybe. He's got to dig something to kickstart a whole new revolution. I don't know, but it looks mad.
Yeah. It's like a crazy. I mean, same director as Revenant, and this film looks like it could be a film that is so well placed in today's politics and environmental issues, and it reminds me of probably what goes on behind the closed doors. You know, when politicians come out and do their press conferences, they got the nice shirt on, it's like, oh yes, yes, but then behind closed doors, this is what's going on.
The chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, I love how it doesn't give away too much, but it has a lot in it to excite you and to just get
Yeah.
you intrigued.
Yeah.
And he
So
looks so
looking forward
different.
to
He
that.
looks so different compared to his normal Tom Cruise image, which I think is really good. Good transformation.
I don't think I would recognize him
Same.
if I wouldn't know that it's him.
Same.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. It's one of those kind of characters. So that's Digger, folks. If if you're online and you want to see what that's all about, go check it out. It's a new upcoming movie. Now, the second movie that we're going to just kind of mention, this is called The Whisper Man. So, have you seen this? Deval, speak about this one. Tell us about this.
Yeah, I love my horrors, Andre. My favorite is horror sci-fi. I mean, if it can be horror and sci-fi, even better.
Even
But
better.
this is a horror film. This stars Robert De Niro. It stars also Adam Scott, who we saw in Hokum recently. Michelle I can never say her surname. Monaghan. And it's basically reminds me of like Weapons from last year. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. So a grieving father and his son basically they're in this quiet town. Children are missing. There's some sort of either serial killer or something about someone uh, that's killed children 15 years earlier, and they're trying to basically find out who did it and who's helping this person do it. It's very mysterious and just seems like something that you just don't touch kids, do you? In society. So when kids are missing, it heightens the stakes. So
Yeah.
the Whisper Man, like whisper. Do you know what I mean? It's very. I don't know.
Have you, Andre? Have you had the opportunity to act in or be a part of horror movies? Is it a genre that you would like to try out?
As an actor, definitely. I can't think of one that I've been a part of, but as an actor, definitely, I would be very excited to be part of one. As a viewer, as an audience, this is not the genre for me at all.
Oh.
I maybe watched one or two in my life.
I don't know why I find it so funny.
But you know what's the thing? The thing is, like, to be fair, like I take the time to watch something not as often as I would like, as I would want to.
Yeah.
Like, it's just there's so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
happening. So when I do, there's so many other things that I would
Mm,
enjoy watching way more than horror that I just never get to it.
okay.
I might
Interesting.
have to just give it a chance.
Yeah, yeah. You
But
never
I saw
know.
the trailer and I was just like, this is I don't know. It's too scary.
It's
It's too
scary.
scary.
And
It's too
the funny,
scary.
the funny thing, Andre, is that I actually am genuinely scared. I am a scared person. So I can think of horror films I've watched years ago that are still
Mm.
locked in my mind. So if I'm home alone, I can't sleep unless the light is on, the TV's on.
So why
So
do you do it?
I don't, I don't know. I don't, I'm a bit mad like that, but so I do get it. When people say they don't like horror films, I understand. I wish I was like them, but it's like a curiosity killed the cat. I'm the
I
cat.
Yeah.
see.
I
I
just want
see.
to find out.
Do you enjoy being scared as you're watching it? Or
Yes, because
yeah,
it's sort of the heart rate. It,
It's
it
racing.
raises. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, I do enjoy
There's
it.
a yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
weird.
Andre. There's a movie that we watched and reviewed not too long ago, and genuinely, and this doesn't happen a lot for me. It's a movie called Undertone. I'm not sure if you've heard of it,
I haven't.
and they use sound to kind
Mm,
of create this atmosphere in the movie. So there's a person in the movie. She's doing a podcast. So Deval and I were like, okay, we're into this movie because they talk. They're on a podcast. We do a podcast, but they create this tension. And genuinely, I don't know if this has ever happened to you. I was squirming in my seat because of the tension.
sound.
So
Mm,
that I just, and I'm paying for this. I'm paying, the cinema to have this experience. And I just think that with certain types of movies, well, and with horror movies, you get that feeling like you're just like, oh, my heart feels
mm,
like, crazy. So yeah, I do like horror movies, but they
I
have to be
see.
well done for me.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so let's speak about this next trailer. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know of the character Rocky Balboa. This character has been like, ever since I've been a kid, Rocky Balboa has been there. He's been so kind of like iconic for so many different people, even for Sylvester Stallone.
Mm,
It's the movie that got him, his big break. He wrote the movie in like 3 days. And if there ever was a story, this is the story that we should all know about. And specifically, this is called I Play Rocky, and it's about the making, how Sylvester Stallone made the Rocky movie, how it got made, which I find really interesting. So we're at this point now in our, in 2026, where we're getting iconic characters. Everyone knows the story about it, or they know a little bit about it, but they've actually gone and made a movie about it. So, have you seen the trailer for this, and what do you think about Rocky Balboa, the
I've
character?
seen the trailer. I'm super excited to see this film. I kind of know the story, at least
Yeah.
as much as it was public. Um, but it's so cool to also see it made into a film. It's like it's such an inspirational and motivational story for all of
Yeah.
us.
mm.
He went against all the odds, and the Rocky. Oh my god! I mean, I watched all of them as a kid, and when I
Yeah.
hear the music, it gives me goosebumps. It's
Yeah.
uh,
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's iconic. It's legendary. Like the
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
it set the standard for training montages as well. I think.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Like, with the iconic music and with Bill Conti music, which I absolutely adore,
Mm,
and which I still listen to this day and everything. So it's amazing. The only caveat that I have though with this, I know that Sylvester Stallone, he fell out with the producers at some point. So he wasn't involved in the third Rocky Balboa movie, the one
oh yeah.
which was directed by Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
They decided he fell out. So I wonder how much input Sylvester Stallone has actually, got it with this movie, because it's about his life.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be interesting to know as well.
It would be really, really interesting to know. But listen, for sure, Deval and I, we'll be watching it. We'll be reviewing it, and yeah, so we'll bring that, to everyone very, very soon. Shall we, Deval? Shall we? What we got? Should we do anniversary corner, or shall we? What should we do?
let's jump straight into Odyssey. I think let's go straight into Odyssey.
I
Yeah.
think it's about time that we start
Hmm.
speaking about the Odyssey. So, before you watched the movie, and Andre, specifically for you, before you even got a whiff of the movie, what did you know about the story of Odysseus in in the Odyssey? Can you tell us?
I mean, as a kid, I really enjoyed like Greek mythology and ancient Greek stories. I knew about the Odyssey. I knew about the Iliad as well. I didn't read it in full. Like it was, the most iconic parts of it that I would know about, like the Cyclops encounter, the sirens, things like that. I knew that it
Yeah,
was about him coming home after the Trojan War. But then to fully read the Odyssey, for me, I only did it now before I got to be part of the film.
interesting.
Um,
Deval, what about you?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up on like Clash of the Titans, like from the 70s
Mm,
or like back
mm,
in the day, the stop motion
yeah,
stuff. I've seen lots of. I do like Greek mythology. I love it because Greek mythology is also linked to astronomy, which I'm really interested in astronomy.
yep.
So I do like that link as well. And I hadn't, same, I hadn't sort of read the books or anything like that, but I knew loosely what the story was about. And I think it's really quite a powerful story. So I was really interested to see how that would translate
Mm,
onto the big screen. Obviously, there have been certain depictions of this over the years in different films, and sometimes part of films, like we saw with Troy. You saw Sean Bean played Odysseus,
mhm.
and
yep.
that was sort of a bit part of it in there. So that was interesting. But yeah, I think I was really looking forward to this. So yeah,
Mm. Even before the movie, even before we've kind of seen the movie and we heard about the movie, we started to get kind of like some controversy. A lot of people started complaining about the helmets, about
oh
the
yeah,
costumes, and people were speaking about Helen of Troy and
mm,
casting a black person and everything. So we there was all these things a part of that. And one of the other things that popped up was about the actual dialogue, using modern terms, like for
oh
example,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Telemachus, played by Tom Holland, plays Odysseus' son, uses the words mum and dad. So I mean, and I guess from my point of view, Christopher Nolan, when I was reading up about him and why he did that, it was because he wanted it to appeal to a wide audience. He
Yeah.
didn't want it to be kind of this stiff upper lip, the sniffy kind of language and dialogue. So he wanted it to be
Mm.
accessible. I mean, when you know is that something that came down from the top when you were making the movie? Was this about, we want to try and make this movie for as many people as possible, or was it kind of very narrow minded? Andre, what do you think?
Um, to be fair, like I don't know about what the thought process or decisions behind all these creative decisions were, and I can't really comment on it. And the whole production was so huge, and I was such a small part of it. I was on it for 3 months, rowing,
Oh
Oh
wow,
sailing in
that's
four
long.
countries. But then my main communication was regarding that.
yeah.
With stunt coordinators or marine department assistant directors. So I know that there was a lot of controversy. There still is. I'd say, as much as I love internet, I'm kind of disappointed, or maybe it's just the zeitgeist that I don't know. The hate spreads faster than the positive stuff,
I
which
was
is a
just gonna
shame.
say because on the internet you get more likes and more engagement if you put hateful content out there. If you
Yeah.
put on content that is happy and this and that, you don't get much likes. So I think they know that. So
Then
that's
I
why they
also
do it. I think.
understand it with a
Mm,
story like that that has been around for, I think it's like 3,000 years, that
mm,
Yeah,
has been retold for such a long time. There's people have different ideas of what that should be.
yeah,
I think Chris compared it to him making The Dark Knight at some point.
yeah,
When
yeah,
again you
yeah,
have a character that's loved, and different people have different ideas of what that character
yeah,
should be. Um, the one thing that I can say for sure is that every single person that was working on this movie knew that we are a part of something huge, something amazing,
Yeah.
something that doesn't happen often. Chris manages to get a team of people around him. I'm now speaking about casting crew who are the top people in
Mm,
the world in what they do, and everyone was going beyond and above what they did before. Everyone was super excited to be part of it and doing their best to make the best possible film. Um, but then there are some
yeah.
decisions that have to be that have to
Yeah.
be made at some point.
Yeah.
And
Before
then, sorry,
before
yeah, it's just the Odyssey. It's such a massive story. Like reading it,
mm,
I was just thinking, how can you put this in 3 hours?
Yeah, must be hard.
yeah. I know, and
It's
this, and yeah, and I was speaking to
massive
Deval. I was
feat.
like,
It's a massive feat.
it's
Yeah.
lots of things. Before I'm gonna get Deval to give a kind of synopsis of the movie, but before I do that, I just want to quickly ask you, Andre, was the film set, was it loud? And the reason why I say loud is because this movie was shot on IMAX cameras, and IMAX cameras,
100%.
yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
IMAX. Apparently, there was like kilometers and kilometers and kilometers of film reel that they used. But they say that the IMAX cameras are really loud. Is that true?
That's true. And the reason why a full feature film wasn't shot on IMAX till the Odyssey is because it was impossible to shoot emotional scenes in close-ups where dialogue recorded on the
Mm,
set would be unusable because of how loud that camera is. And for this film, they developed a blimp system that dampens the sound. They developed a new camera as well, just so
Wow.
they could do these incredible emotional scenes that you see in the movie.
Yeah.
crazy.
We'll get into that. Devout. Yeah. Give us a synopsis. Tell us. Break it down for us, for our listeners. Tell us about this, the Odyssey, and where we're at with this.
Yeah, I'm still just on the technical aspects, but I mean, yeah, the so the Odyssey. So yeah, so basically, it's looking at King Odysseus, who's the king of Ithaca, which is a small island around the sort of the Greek islands in modern day, you could say, and it sort of looks at the story of what happens after the Trojan War, and what we've seen with the Trojan War. If you look back to Troy and what happens in that film, think about what happens after. So what happens after the Trojan War in that King Odysseus and his men are traveling back to Ithaca, but it's supposed to be, I think, a 3 week journey by sea, and but it takes years. I believe is it up to 20 years? It took
20 years.
It's
20
I
years.
think is it 10? I think it's 10. I think the
10. Okay,
Trojan War was 10 years and then
that's
10
it.
years of coming
Perfect.
back. Yeah.
And then 10
See,
years coming back. Yeah.
thank you, for the expert, correcting us there. Thank you very much.
I,
So,
I
so
mean,
in that,
I spent 3 months on the Odyssey. I don't think I'm going to get closer in my life to being a part of an actual Odyssey than that. Yeah.
so he spent 3 months on the Odyssey. It should have taken 3 days, but you see, he was, all these creatures came in the way, and he. But so yeah, so it looks at the journey of getting back to Ithaca and the trials and tribulations, the gods. Some of what Odysseus is doing, some of his decision making angers the gods, and it also looks at the relationship between him and his men, because there's a bit of friction that goes on, and in that they want to get back, but he's doing certain things and making certain decisions that will sometimes, it sometimes doesn't bear fruit.
Hmm.
But the whole film really, I'm doing it in a really sort of quick way, but the whole film is about a journey. It's about a homecoming. It's about the decisions that a man makes, a king makes, to try and get to the goal, no matter basically what has to be lost on the way. And it's about also Penelope, his queen, being steadfast and loyal, and holding on to that dream and that hope that her husband, her king, will return no matter what. And in amongst that, you have a sort of coming of age story in Tom Holland, his son, who has to deal with the sort of aftermath of his father's disappearance, and having to deal with lots of the people that are trying to take his basically take his crown. So there's lots of different stories, and it all links up with this massive epic movie that we're obviously talking about with Andre today. But there's a couple of things that I want to just say really quickly that I really, really enjoyed about this film. Obviously, the technical aspects of it being filmed in IMAX. I saw it on IMAX, and I must say, it's massive. I like when it comes to IMAX, I like to sit center screen so that I'm in the middle and there's screen like up there and down there. So I'm like this. That's what I like to do. The sound on this film, crazy.
Oh, the
The
sound was
sound
incredible.
is it's crazy. It's loud. I mean, obviously acting, everything, everyone involved done a great job. There's two scenes I just want to really quickly talk about that I really just sort of loved. And being a horror man, these scenes done it for me. There's a
Mm,
scene with the Cyclops. I mean,
yeah.
that Cyclops, you see it in the
Oh,
trailer, so it's not a massive spoiler, but the face on the Cyclops, even the eye is like the
it's
eye.
just distorted. The nose
And
is somewhere else.
oh, and then just how they have to overcome the Cyclops. I mean, in the books, it's a bit slightly different, but mainly the same. But
Mm,
it's so clever, and it's just ah. And then there's another scene where the men go on this island, and they come up to Cersei, who
yes,
Cersei,
who's a
she
witch
what
or
she,
something.
I don't want to spoil it too much if people haven't seen it yet. But what happens with the food and how Cersei manipulates the men and she changes them. She changes these men and the body horror, the way it physically happens. Ah, those
Yeah,
two scenes for me. I mean, the whole film was great, but those two scenes, this film has to be seen on
yeah.
IMAX. Go and
It
watch it on
is.
IMAX.
It is 100% what you said about it being epic,
Oh
and
man,
so I'm exactly like you with those ones, and then I will also add the ending. So when Odysseus returns, he gets back to Ithaca.
mm,
So he's had all these years. He spent years and years away, and he's had all these issues with his men and his men not trusting him, and there's distrust and everything, and he keeps thinking about his the promise that he gives to his wife Penelope. He's thinking about his son, his family and home and everything. After all of that, he arrives back home, and then I'm thinking, okay, where do we go from here? And then there's still about an hour left of that movie,
yeah.
and I'm telling you, the pace just picks up. He's there. He meets the was it the I can't remember if he's the silver, but he plays by John Leguizamo.
Oh
um
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so he meets him again, and he finds out that his son's going to be killed, and he goes off and to help his son, and but he doesn't want to reveal himself even more. And you've
Mm,
got this whole kind of scene that that unfolds in his palace and everything. And you mentioned about villain, Andre, something about a villain, playing a great villain, and then we have someone like Robert Pattinson who plays this kind of slimy, this kind of
He's
creepy. Yeah,
fantastic.
he's absolutely amazing. Like,
yeah.
you just kind of, you want him to get his comeuppance. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but there's this whole big set piece that happens in the movie towards the end of the movie, and then finally, there's some sort of peace at the end of it. But I mean, for me, it was amazing. When did you first watch the movie, Andre? Have you seen it? How many times have you seen it, by the way?
I only seen it once so far. I seen it 2 days ago at the Slovenian premiere. After our talk, I'm flying to London just solely to see the movie in BFI IMAX because I want
Oh,
to
Oh
see it in
wow.
brilliant.
IMAX.
Okay.
Amazing.
So I am super excited for that. The thing about IMAX film and IMAX cameras is it's the largest format that you can film a movie in. You can't really measure the resolution of it because it's a film, it's an emulsion, but they compare it to either 12K or 18K,
Mm,
which,
Mm,
okay.
as far as I researched, digital film cameras, they go up to like 8K.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
8K.
So if you're watching a projection from the film, which I guess you did in IMAX as well, the detail and the image is just
Mm,
you can't compare it to anything else. And it was interesting to see. I didn't know beforehand, but uh, the IMAX, so they have to change the film in the camera every 3 minutes of recording.
yeah.
So
Wow.
for some of those scenes, when the actors, the main cast, have really emotional scenes, and the scenes are longer than 3 minutes, I heard that they would have to stop in the middle of it, wait for the camera to reload, hold on to that emotion, and then continue, which is a
It's
whole nother
incredible.
challenge that you don't even think about.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
So what was your? I'd like to know what your, like, obviously seeing it because it was you were part of the film. But if you separate yourself from being part of the film and just from a pure film fan, like, do you have any favorite scenes or any favorite parts of the film that you thought, oh wow, that was great?
I mean, the Cyclops scene for sure.
Mm,
It's difficult to like separate myself from it, to be fair, especially because the first time I was watching, there was just so many memories coming back, and I need to like
ah,
rewatch it a couple of times to actually be
okay.
able to see just
yeah.
as a, maybe just as an audience. It has been an adventure of a lifetime. Like I said, I spent 3 to 4 months on it. We were rowing and sailing on actual boats, Odysseus's boat, the Telemachus's boat, Agamemnon's
Wow.
fleet, in Greece, in Italy, in Iceland, in Scotland, on epic locations.
Wow.
Uh, so, like, one of the thoughts was when I see these scenes in the movie, I was like, "Wow, it looks amazing!" But then there was so much more. Like, if
Mm,
you turn that
Yeah.
way, there's a volcano that was. We were rowing next to a Stromboli, which is a live volcano, which erupts like every 20 minutes. There was a little burst of lava going out of it.
what?
What?
Yeah.
Is that,
So imagine that. Like, who does that?
That's
that's
incredible.
crazy, crazy,
Absolute,
crazy.
absolutely incredible.
But for sure, the movie is amazing. I would say it's one of the biggest, greatest cinema events of our lives.
Mm,
I've been
Mm,
a fan of Nolan beforehand. Now seeing him work, I'm
mm.
just it's on another level. He's always there and really involved in the whole thing. As far as I saw, he's always next to the camera, observing the
Mm.
scene. He was in the Trojan Horse with the actors, with us on the boats
Wow.
in
wow.
rain, sun, stormy seas. Yeah, he was a true leader.
There's obviously a lot of talk about the actual Trojan horse. And I don't want to give too much away, but I'm so excited about how they film that bit. Obviously we know that the Trojan horse is a big part of the story, and then there's a scene where Odysseus and his men, they're all cramped up in there, and they're in there for days and just waiting. Some people, and there's a moment in the movie where someone explains that the smell in there was horrific because they have to shit themselves and piss themselves, and they did everything in there, but it was very claustrophobic. And there's a scene in what was the Christopher Nolan, he did a World War movie as well where they're on a boat,
Oh,
and it,
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk,
Mm,
and he does something similar with that. But what I noticed is this thing that Christopher Nolan does with time, where we jump and we go back, and we do this thing. And I find that Christopher Nolan is just fascinated with time and
mm.
this idea of time, and about you know we're on this earth for a certain amount of time, and this movie kind of like late works on that as well. But the way that we go back and forth a little bit, I just loved it. I just thought that was
That's his
amazing what
signature,
he
isn't
did.
it? He likes to do that, and in all these films, I think he's kept that as almost like his. That's his signature. Yeah, that's what I can say. Really. Yeah.
Yeah, the editing of this film is in the pacing. I think it's incredible.
Mm,
What I noticed when I was reading the Odyssey before the production started for me, the actual poem is not written in a linear way as well. It jumps back and forth.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
So that was my first thought. It's a perfect match having Nolan directing this,
yeah.
and
Wow.
there were so many moments. Like when I was already in Greece, we had like a rowing boot camp, intensive training and preparation, how to like work on the actual ships that are in the movie. I was reading the Odyssey as well. I was sitting on a sand beach in Pylos reading the book, and the book mentions Telemachus landing on the sandy beaches of Pylos,
Oh
where
wow.
he meets King Nestor, and the ruins of the Nestor's palace were not far away from where we were. That was one of the moments when I was like, okay,
Incredible.
being a part
You're on
of
set.
that film on the location where the
Yeah.
story supposedly happened, if it was real or if it is real,
Mm.
Well, it just added a
Crazy.
whole nother layer to my experience. Yeah.
And I think as you're both saying this, I think I'm sort of reliving the film now, and I can see how they made it look so realistic. Like you talked about real boats and real rowing and in the
Mm,
horse, and because we've seen the horse before in other films, but we haven't really seen them like the stress of what it will be like realistically for 2 days in that horse.
yeah,
Realistically, no, like some of them drowned because it was
yeah,
half under the like, and just the journey of trying to get from one place to the next place for years. Like in this day and age, we jump on a plane, we're there in 6 hours. But
yep,
like those days, it took years to get somewhere, and sometimes you wouldn't make it home because the journey is treacherous.
mm.
There's no travel insurance. you know, it's just this is back in the day.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no
No,
claiming your insurance on that.
No,
no
There's
refund after either.
no, exactly.
exactly. There's a bit, or there's one scene that I just want to kind of quickly mention, and it's an emotion. You know, you mentioned about the camera and everything. There's an emotional scene,
Yeah.
very emotional scene at the towards the end of the movie with Matt Damon, you know, as Odysseus, and speaking to his wife. And as he's speaking to her, Christopher Nolan cuts back to images of the fighting, you know, the Trojan War, where they
Oh yeah.
enter the palace of the Trojans,
Mm.
and the Greeks, that they unleash their kind of fury because they've been fighting, waiting for 10 years to try and end this, and then they're just unleashed, and they start knocking down, statues, and killing people and burning things and everything. I, for me, I was so hooked. I was just there, like, in that
Mm.
scene. It was one of my favorite moments of the movie as well. We're adding in action, we're adding in kind of this tension, but then there's the drama as well. This thing between Penelope and Odysseus going on as well, which I thought was
Yeah.
pretty masterful. So, in terms of kind of a movie, please, for our audience members
Yeah.
out there who are listening to this, you have to watch it in cinema. Now, I've been told that there's only 52 cinemas in the world that have the 70 millimeter size.
Yeah, I think that's
Um,
right.
there's only there's only 52 cinemas in the world, and or there's only 52. I can't remember. There's some sort of stat where there's only
Mm.
52 people who are masters in using this kind of technology and everything. So if you can watch it
There's
in
not a lot of
IMAX,
them.
watch it in
Yeah.
IMAX. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an experience.
But yeah, I think that draws us to the end of the Odyssey for today. But like Amar said, go watch the film. As you can see, you've heard from the horse's mouth, the Trojan horse's mouth, in in Andrei, of his experiences, and it just goes to show you that filmmaking is a passion that when it's done properly and it's done with love and everything, it's so true. The
Mm.
truth is there on screen. So Andre, we very, very much appreciate. We
Oh,
thank you for coming onto the show. I know we've gone on for a bit longer than we promised, but we had to go with the flow, and we appreciate your candidness and your openness about talking about your experiences and just your work and just being you. From when I met you 15 years ago, you seem like the same sort of humble person, and yeah, that's just good to see.
it's amazing.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing the Odyssey in IMAX now.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely.
Cool. So until next time, peace out.